Before the world called it the heist of the century, it started like the quiet beginning of a movie. No gunshots, no chaos, just four men preparing for the most perfect diamond robbery ever recorded. In 2003, the Antwerp Diamond Center in Belgium was considered unbreakable, a fortress. 10 layers of security protecting billions of stones, thermal sensors, infrared beams, magnetic alarms, armored vault doors, seismic detectors, Doppler radars, CCTV cameras, motion detectors, and some of the best security teams in Europe. 10 separate alarm systems, all working together to create what they believed was impenetrable protection. Nobody had ever beaten it. Nobody even tried. Until one man arrived with a plan that sounded impossible, but he knew exactly how to make it real. His name was Leonardo Notarbartolo, a veteran thief, a master of disguise, and the leader of a small but elite group known as the School of Turin, criminals who treated theft like a science. But Notarbartolo's genius wasn't just in breaking in, it was in getting inside in the first place. 3 years before the heist, he rented office space right inside the Antwerp Diamond Center, posing as a legitimate diamond trader. While diamond merchants conducted their business around him, he studied every detail of the building. He knew the guards' names, understood their routine, memorized every camera angle, every detector location, every blind spot. And most importantly, he earned the trust of the very people protecting the world's most expensive stones. For 3 years, he walked those corridors as if he belonged there. But Notarbartolo didn't work alone. He had assembled a team the world had never seen before. First, Pietro Tavano, known as Speedy.
Listen, man. We have to do this to get rich, because if we don't change, we'll stay poor. We need to start taking action.
His nervous energy became the team's greatest advantage and ultimately the cause of their downfall. Second, the monster, Ferdinando Finotto. Tall, muscular, and physically the strongest in the group, the monster was expert in lockpicking, an electrician, mechanic, and driver. In fact, he was the first to suggest robbing the Diamond Center. He saw Notarbartolo as the perfect scout for their impossible mission. Third, the genius, Elio Donorio, a specialist in alarm systems who ran several front companies to mask his true criminal activity. While others saw impenetrable security, the genius saw solvable puzzles, decodable systems, hackable algorithms. And finally, the King of Keys, an older man whose true identity remains unknown to this day. He was one of the world's best key forgers, capable of creating master keys that could open any building door. Together they called themselves the School of Turin. They had planned this heist for more than 2 years, studying every detail, every weakness, every human error. The plan became something almost unreal. They discovered how to trick the security system without ever touching it. They used hairspray to reveal invisible laser beams, creating a map of where every beam was positioned. The genius built magnetic plates to fool door sensors. He created devices that could duplicate the exact magnetic signature of legitimate access cards, making the doors think authorized personnel were entering. The monster silenced motion detectors by creating small devices that emitted the perfect frequency to temporarily disable them. Not permanently, just long enough to pass through. And the King of Keys had studied the vault's master key for months, making a perfect mold and crafting an identical copy that could open the vault as if it were the original. But the real genius was in the timing. They discovered that the cameras had a 17-second gap in their rotation pattern. 17 seconds where a specific area was completely unmonitored. Something so small the security team never noticed, but the thieves did. They studied every weakness, every flaw, every human error. The Diamond Center looked invincible, but they found the cracks. Then came the night, February 14th, 2003, Valentine's Day. While couples across Belgium celebrated love, 4 men prepared to commit the crime of a lifetime. At exactly 11:47 p.m., they moved. One opened the front door, not by force, but using the King of Keys' perfect duplicate of the security key. Another disabled cameras in the lobby, while a third picked the elevator lock and descended 2 floors underground into the vault level. For the first time in its history, the vault opened without permission. Inside were 173 safe deposit boxes filled with diamonds, gold, jewelry, and rare gemstones from around the world. Stacked ceiling high, worth more than most small countries' GDP. The thieves worked for hours in total silence. The monster cut through metal boxes with industrial precision. The genius disabled any backup alarms they might trigger. Speedy swept millions of dollars into bags, his paranoid nature now an asset, checking every corner, every shadow. They had calculated everything. Security rotations, backup system delays, even the exact time it would take guards to respond to any alarm. They worked with clockwork precision, never rushed, never panicked. When they finished, they didn't just leave. They made sure to plant false evidence, ordinary burglary tools, generic gloves, nothing that could be traced back to them. They wanted it to look like ordinary thieves, not the sophisticated operation it really was. When the guards opened the vault the next morning, the scene looked like a war zone. Metal ripped apart, shelves empty, diamonds gone. But there were no signs of forced entry, no broken alarms, no triggered sensors. For a moment, it looked like they had committed the perfect crime. No faces captured on camera, no fingerprints left behind, no witnesses, no evidence. Just a vault that had mysteriously opened itself and a fortune that had simply vanished. But even the greatest thieves make mistakes. In a trash bag they tossed on the side of the road was a simple grocery receipt. A receipt for dinner at an expensive restaurant in Brussels. Dinner for 2, costing over 200 euros. That receipt, with its timestamp from the night of the heist, led detectives straight to Notar Bartolo's restaurant reservation under his fake identity. He was arrested within weeks, interrogated for months. But the diamonds? Never recovered. To this day, no one knows where the missing fortune went. No one knows the full identities of the other thieves, and no one knows how many secrets the School of Turin still hides. The Antwerp Diamond Heist remains one of the most brilliant robberies in human history, not because of violence, but because of pure, calculated genius. $300 million in jewels, gone without a trace. If you think this story was unbelievable, it's only one of many. Every week, thousands of crimes remain hidden, forgotten, or stranger than fiction.
Here on Vantel, we bring them back to light.
Subscribe for more true crime stories, mysteries, and real events darker than you can imagine. Because in every shadow, there's a story waiting to be told.